Boom! What's going on, everyone? I'm Logan, the 64th Gear Jammer Skeele, founder of Advantage Diecast, welcoming you to the warehouse on another episode of Toy Talk. Mack Trucks, are there any better from the East? The recognized industry leader in transportation since its inception in 1953. The Mack B model is one of the most common sights on the highways and byways of America. The first one rolled off the assembly line on May 23, 1953. Production ran for 13 continuous years, terminating on April 28, 1966. In that time span, a total of 124,847 units were manufactured. In addition, there were 2,939 forward control fire engines and CKD units produced, making a grand total of 127,786 vehicles. The B model featured the Million Mile Cab with its unitized construction and 4-point diamond mounting pattern for maximum driver comfort and safety. In addition, the B model helped prove the feasibility and practicality of diesel power plants for modern-day trucking. Not only were they widely used for over-the-road hauling, but for many construction applications as well. In fact, B models hauled most everything from soft drinks to gigantic oil rigs. The B model was offered in a rare for the time period integral sleeper model. This option was popular with drivers in the South, and it's hard to find examples of them today. Being popular at the South makes sense for the Neo replica and being very authentic since it is a trucking company based out of Atlanta. The B model has been superseded by the new model lines, including the U, the R, and the DM series. The U model came out in 1964, and the R model came out in 1965. Just think, you could get a brand new B model or a used U or R model on the same dealership lot. Now to review the Neo scale models. 1957 Mack B61 ST with integral sleeper for Rockingham truck lines of Atlanta, Georgia. And this is the 1957 Mack B61 ST for Rockingham truck lines of Atlanta, Georgia. It has the integral sleeper, which was a fairly rare option back in the day. It's by Neo Scale Models, and it comes in the standard display case with a hard plastic base and a clear hard plastic case to go over it. It has a hardboard sleeve and the mirror piece in the back. And it is item number Neo 64061. And it's made in China, just like all the rest of them. Now, I'm going to go on and open this guy up. And to do that, just slip this sleeve off. You can see that little mirror piece in the back. Set that aside here. And then we've got the truck. Now, you can see it's in this beautiful display case. And the larger case just snaps in place. The smaller one they used on the GMCs is taped, but the larger one is not. But that display case will do a great job at keeping this model from getting all dusty or dirty when you have it sitting out being displayed, which, if you've ever tried to dust these guys, gets to be a real pain. And you can see on the hard plastic display base piece, it has the name Mack B61 ST 1957. The truck is just screwed down to the base. It's a die-cast chassis for very strong structural support, and it has a resin cab, which allows very limited runs to be made on a model that's not super popular, you know, like 359s, 379s, and etc. So here we go. This is the Mack B61, and you can see on the front it does have a license plate, and that is a Georgia plate. Go figure. It's a Georgia-based trucking company. Now, I'm going to go on and take this guy off the base. It's just got 2 Phillips head screws on the base, and that's what holds the truck on. And this one's got the smaller screws. Now, I've taken many of these off, but the way to do it is put your thumb underneath and put your forefinger on the frame and hold it tight between the 2. That way you don't damage the truck or any of the small parts that are on it. And then it just takes a screwdriver to go on and unscrew those screws. Be careful not to lose them in case you want to put this guy back in his box. And I recommend you store the boxes because you never know, you may want to move, and the safest, easiest way to move them is in their box. Now let's set this down and pick him up off the base plate. There we go. Let's get the base plate out of the way. Isn't that beautiful? That red and black with the white stripe is just striking. And we'll pick him up, bring him up close. This has the 6-spoke Dayton style wheels, the spider wheels, and they have Mack center caps. I think the only truck that they've done with 6-spoke wheels is the Macks. It's got the step style fuel tanks that are red, and it's got the battery box back here that is in black along with the black frame. The fenders are black, the top of the hood is black. The sides of the hood are red with the white stripe, and the whole cab is red with a white stripe around it. Over on the door, it says Rockingham Truck Lines, Atlanta, Georgia, and then you can see its ICC and other numbers on the side. They did a really nice job with the graphics, and you can also see the Mack and the Thermodyne logo and the Bulldog and the little silver striping there on the hood, which is the Mack. Also, you can see the latches for the butterfly style hood, which B61s had. They're really nice. They're actually photo etched parts on this one, so be careful with them. Also up on the hood, it's got a very, very well defined Mack Bulldog. The driver's door has a key lock, and it has a door handle, and then there's a grab bar beside it, and then you can see the beautiful mirror. It has very nice wheels. They're hollow. The spiders are just well defined. Turning around to the front, you can see this has got the push bumper style, which will protect that grill and protect the front end in case of an animal jumping in front of it. And you can see that nice green Georgia plate right there on the front of the corner there. It's got 2 individual jewel style headlights and little individual jewel style marker lights below them. Up on the fenders, you can see it's got individual piece, and they're painted amber for the turn signals. They're not jewel style, they're actually just hard they're resin pieces. You can see on the hood, you can see that Bulldog, the front of it. It's probably the nicest 64 scale Bulldog that's been done. The windows are vacuum formed, and they have a photo etched piece that rings around them to make it look like they've got the gaskets on these. And the other photo etched parts are those 2 windshield wipers. Be careful with them, they can get flicked off easily. When you turn it around to the side, it's got the same details, the same beautiful graphics. The fuel tank, the fuel caps are painted silver on these. I didn't mention that on the other side. Door handles, grab bars, mirrors, and then you can see the air intake right there, right on the side. Very nice. And being that Macks mostly had their single exhaust right here, there it is. They did a real nice job replicating it with the big Mack standard curve out at the top. These cabs were quite rounded, so they looked really cool. To get the heat shield on it, they just put a decal with black dots. Does a really nice job making that decal and making it look like it's got a actual heat shield on it. And then the sleeper window there has the sleeper vent there is well defined. Turning around to the back, we'll start down this way. You can see it's got a Georgia license plate and 2 brake lights. They're not jewel style. They're just pieces of resin that are actually painted red. Well, actually, they're probably die-cast because they're part of the die-cast frame. You can also see a very nice vintage style tread pattern on the tires. They are resin wheels and actually resin tires. They're a softer resin, but they're resin. They're not a true rubber tire like we're used to. But they look really nice and they're quite durable. You can see here it's got a 5th wheel that pivots, and the kingpin hole is set up for DCP and first gear style trailers with the straight kingpins. In the back of the cab you can see 2 hand grab bars, and then there's your electric and your air lines. Not quite sure why they did it that way, but they did it. You can also see that white stripe goes all the way around the back of the cab. Another piece, it has a back window and you can see right through it. Turn it around this way and we'll look at the bottom. You can see standard detail from Neo because they use the same, they only have a couple of chassis and they put all the cabs on them. You've got the front, you've got your front axle suspension here that's a spring style. Then you've got your rear axle suspension with drive shaft connecting to the front axle from the transmission and to the second axle. There's nice differential detail on the axles. There's a nice bottom of transmission detail and not much on the bottom of the engine, but there's a little bit there. You can also see the exhaust pipe coming out and going up to the stack that it's painted silver. On the frame it's tampoed Neo scale models, and it has the 164 Mack B61 ST 1957 tampoed on the other side. Cast into the front axle is actually says made in China, and then there is a tie rod on the axles. The fuel tanks underneath, you can see they did a real nice job replicating the bands that hold them on. It's a really nice piece. Now we'll go up to the top here. On the roof you can see 2 individual air horns. They are a resin cast part, not an ABS plastic part, along with the mirrors. So they are kind of fragile, but they're okay. They're not likely to break like those very, very fine photo etched mirrors we've seen before. And also it's got individual bullet style roof lights that are silver with an orange painted on the front for the amber lenses. A very, very nice truck. Now, this truck being a sleeper was probably for long haul van freight. I'm not really sure because I couldn't find anything about Rockingham truck lines, but I'm going to go on and show him off with a 40-foot van trailer from the 70s. That way you can see what he really looks like all hooked up. Because these trucks really, you really got to have these trucks hitched to a trailer to make them look cool. Now let's bring it around. And that's the DCP 40-foot dry van behind the Neo scale models 1957 Mack B61 ST integral sleeper tractor for Rockingham Truck Lines of Atlanta, Georgia. Wouldn't that truck look great on your shelf or on your diorama? I've got these and other trucks available for sale over at my website, farmtoysandmore.com. So head on over there with the link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment below on what you liked or what you didn't like about the video. And I just know that you've got some friends out there that would enjoy this video, so go on and give it a share with the share button. Please be sure to hit the thumbs up button to let YouTube know that you enjoyed this video, and make sure you tap the subscribe button and join my YouTube family. I really appreciate each and every member of my YouTube family. I'm Logan, the 64th Gear Jammer Skeele, and I'll be back in the warehouse soon for another episode of Toy Talk.